I guess we'll start with the week. You said day-to-day possible for Wednesday. Is there an update on that?
Cooley will be in the lineup tonight.
How important or how beneficial do you think this rest period was?
Yeah, we'll find out tonight. I just think, he's like we've talked about before, right? He's 19 years old. He's probably played 150 games in the last 17 months. And he had a little bit of an injury. So as good as the rest was physically, I think it's probably better mentally. Stay away from the rink for a few days, sleep, rest. I told him every day I saw him, I was like, sleep, 12 hours, like just sleep, rest. And we got a lot of hockey coming up. And it was important that he comes into this stretch refreshed a little bit.
It almost sounds like when you talk, it's caring about the person, not the player, if that makes sense, or just making sure that he's okay and he's taken care of.
I think when you care about the person, you're caring about the player. That's just the way I look at it, and I've always looked at it that way. If we only care about them as hockey players, you usually don't get the best out of them. I think when your players know that you do care for them at a personal level, their careers, their lives, I think you can push them extremely hard. You can be more demanding of them. You can have more difficult conversations with them because they know you're coming from a place that you care about them.
So he's coming back. It was nice to get Tyson Kozak back on the weekend.
Kozak is, it's hard to describe how important he is for the lineup. And because so many people, you look at stats and goals and assists and things like that, but as important as, guys like Kulik and Rosane and Byro and Rusek are for us offensively, Kozak is that defensively. You could make the argument that he's our best defensive player. He's an elite defensive center. He's a great penalty killer. He's our best shot blocker. So we're a better team with him in the lineup. We're a more physical team with him in the lineup. We're harder to play against with him in the lineup.
I know Bradley Stillman has been out of your lineup now, and so you've had other two guys stepping up. I don't know if we talked much about Joseph Sidoni, and I guess we should, because the last month he looks like he's had a real good run.
He is on a great run of hockey right now, and him and Davies seem to getting that chemistry back together that they had at the end of last year in the playoffs. And I think he's playing, you could argue he's playing as good or better than he did for us in the playoffs last year in this last 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is. So, he's more physical. He's being harder to play against on a more consistent basis. And, as that needs to be his identity, if he wants to continue to improve and grow and have a chance to try to kick that door down at a higher level, it needs to be as a mean, physical, consistent, stay-at-home defender.
You probably had goals in back-to-back games last week. Going into it, you talked about simplifying things, shooting the puck more. Did you see that?
Yeah, the power play took good steps in the right direction. Not only did they score both nights, they had chances, more chances. There was more of a shooting mentality. We got Byro up top, and I think that he did a good job up top of trying to have that shot first mentality, being a threat. The more the guy from the top is a threat, the more the guys on the flanks open up. So we did better, and we just need to keep building on that this week.
Do you have a starter this night?
Levi will start in net.
Assuming that they may go with Isaac Poulter, he seems to be their number one guy. He has been really good this year. What has he been strong?
Poulter's had an excellent year, and when you look on paper coming into the year, you're probably thinking that Dawes, Schmid, Shalgren are going to be ahead of him. And that's not easy to steal a net from guys like that. And credit to him and that he has. And so now I think they play good team defense in front of them. They got a really good lineup right now. I mean, their centers, are big, old NHL experience. They got, Schmelzer, Chris Colo, Dowling, and they just signed Stevens. And we're talking about, they're 28 to 33 years old. All of them are strong, hard, competitive players with vast experience in the American League and some of them the NHL as well. And so from a defensive perspective, starting center out back to goal, they're a really strong physical team.